The selfless death of Chief Bi-Ans-Wah for the salvation of his son. Family ties were very, very important to the Indians of the Great Lakes, and well, throughout the various cultures, strong, sacred family ties was the glue which bound them together. Henry R. Schoolcraft wrote, "No savage tribe on the face of the earth is so far as geographical discovery extends, or are more tenacious of their relationships. No earthly calamity causes such deep grief to them as the loss of a promising son at the time of his entrance into life. Instances have been known where the father has redeemed his son from the stake and actually burnt in his stead." End quote. It's just such a case that I wish to share with you. It is a story about a chief who was very celebrated by the Chippewa, Chief Bi-Ans-Wah. There was a war in the 17th century between the Chippewa people and the Fox, and after the Fox had allied with the Sioux to their west. It was during this conflict that the Fox stole the great chief's young son, whom he loved dearly. Stealthily, they entered the chief's lodge in his absence and took his son, knowing the pain that it would bring to the chief. When he had reached his lodge and was told the news, his heart was heavy with fear for the boy. Chief Bi-Ans-Wah knew full well what they would do to his son, and he also knew there was but one way to rescue the boy, a way that would cost him dearly. Alone, the chief set out following the enemy's trail and praying to Gitchimanitu, the great creator spirit, that his son would be protected till his arrival. There is no record as to how long it took him to reach the enemy camp, but surely every step must have seemed to take forever. And indeed, Chief Bi-Ans-Wah reached the Fox village just in the nick of time, for he found them kindling a fire around a great stake, and upon it was their intent to take the life of the chief's young son. With great love for his son motivating him, the chief stepped boldly into the arena, knowing full well the Fox could take both the life of his son and of his own as well. There in the midst of his enemies, Chief Bi-Ans-Wah offered to take his son's place on the stake. He is quoted as having said, "My son has seen but few winters. His feet have never trod the warpath. But the hairs on my head are white, and I have hung many scalps over the graves of my relatives, which I took from the heads of your warriors. Kindle your fire around me, but send my son home to my lodge." And his request was accepted by the Fox, and the boy was released. The chief was tied to the stake and was burned alive. It is said that he did not utter a single groan, secure in the fact that he had secured the release and his young son's freedom. The chief died with honor. This shows the severity of savage warfare, amidst which the family tie is the strongest of bonds. I have no record of the son's name, nor of his life. I would feel safe in saying that he sought revenge at some point for the father he had to grow up without. Well, I hope you've liked the story, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on any new programs here on the Dennis Morrison channel. God bless, and have a great evening.